How's it going, viewers? I hope you're doing well.
What was the next night like?
The next night was like an acid trip. Our friend Devin and I went out to another friend of Devin's, a boy named Matt, who was trying to be a rapper back then, but I guess he gave up on that.
This story isn't about him.
You're right. That night was full of mischief and craziness. One of the things being obtaining a leather jacket that belonged to Matt's dad.
What was this night's choice of inebriation?
Devin and I went out to Matt's house with a bottle of those little tiny Benadryl pills.
In the Jeep Compass?
Yeah, I drove us out there in that, and I got so high I thought I drove back home by myself, walked inside and up to my room, and then had a full-on conversation with my dad, who came into my room, pulled a chair up, and had a talk with me about something that I never remembered even as it happened.
You thought you drove home. What happened if you didn't actually drive home?
I was outside by myself for too long, and it felt too weird to just walk back into Matt's house by myself without one of the few people inside letting me in.
So what did you end up doing?
As far as I knew, I went home and had a conversation with my dad, went to sleep, and then my mom woke me up to go to her mom's. So I thought all that happened, and then we drove to my mom's house, where I ended up waking up inside of a random garage in my underwear, alone, and thinking I was inside my bedroom. So I started looking for my bed to lie down and relax, looking for my dresser so I could put on some new socks because my feet were super cold on the concrete floor I woke up on.
Where did you actually end up?
I guess I was next door to Matt's house in someone's garage. It was a good thing that house next door was getting sold, so nobody was there and nobody discovered me. But when I got in the garage, I was so high that I thought I was in my room, so I just threw my Jeep keys when I walked in the door. And the reason I was barefoot was because I took my shoes and socks off when I entered the building.
That must have been a fun morning.
Especially being my 20th birthday. After walking around the garage barefoot and randomly finding my keys by complete chance, I continued walking around the garage to find more of my things that weren't there. During one of my steps, I looked down after I felt something other than cold concrete under my foot.
What was it that you felt?
A fluorescent light fixture upside down with 2 bulbs in it. I still took the step after I looked down, saw my foot getting heavier on it, and thought to myself, well, this is gonna suck.
That light fixture wasn't supposed to be on the floor like that.
When I took the step and heard the shatter but didn't feel the pain or see any red on the ground, I was incredibly surprised, even as I stood there way too high.
So you shattered a bulb under your step, and then what?
Well, I didn't find my bed or dresser still after that, but I got tired of walking around the garage, so I started looking for my phone, and I remembered setting it on the desk I had in my room, So
you started walking towards the corner your desk was in because your phone was supposed to be there? But what did you find?
To my surprise, I found a door that led outside. When I opened it, the first thing I saw was my pair of shoes with my socks in each shoe.
You really thought you were somewhere else besides the garage next door.
I was even more confused about where I was because the doorway was facing away from Matt's house, so I looked outside after I got my feet covered. The garage door I entered through was facing a house, and up the hill was a fenced-in area with a couple goats. And there was a tractor up there that looked like someone was in it.
This is where things get funny.
I walked up, climbed up over the fence, and walked through the mud with my DC shoes halfway through the goat pen until I saw the tractor clearly was off and unoccupied.
A few times of climbing that fence and coating your shoes with goat shit and mud.
After that, I actually went home because when I got to Matt's and they saw me standing at the door from the window, but nobody came down to open the door, I actually went home that time, and when I got there, I was greeted with a very worried dad because I had apparently sent him a text or two and confused him the night before.
The emotions were high that day, as were you.
After a conversation that ended in crying and a 3-way hug, We went to eat breakfast for my birthday and I had a laughing fit at the restaurant, all while wearing the leather jacket and missing your phone. I also lost a couple bowls at Matt's that night, but I guess those are signs that it may have been the end of the glass days. I really hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, comment, let me know, follow me, subscribe, do what you will, but please spread peace, love, and positivity any and everywhere you go. I'm out.